So we got to talk about my Portland Trailblazers. Hey, baby, you're in trouble. Hey, what'd you do? Something's up. So they get caught in this 4-team trade that got certified by the league yesterday. So technically the trade deadline only ended Monday because the Warriors decided that even though there was some sort of skullduggery, I don't know what else to call it except for concealment. I don't want to call it outright lying, but the Warriors are very mad that Gary Payton is damaged and that he might be out a few weeks, maybe months. And Portland's been playing him significant minutes right before the deadline. So instead of blowing up the entire deal and ruining the day for 15% of the league, Warriors decided to keep Gary Payton II. So the 4-team deal is as follows. Blazers get Kevin Knox from Detroit and 5 second-round picks. That's a lot. 5 second-round picks from Golden State. Warriors get GP2 and 2 second-round picks from Atlanta. Pistons get James Wiseman from the Warriors. Hawks get Saddiq Bey from the Pistons via Golden State Warriors. Very complicated trade. But what was lost on all of this is that the entire deal centered and hinged around Gary Payton passing his physical. Very Carlos Correa vibes. He did not pass that physical. So then things got crazy. The universe undefeated. Chaos. Anger. Internal investigations launched. All kinds of stuff happening because the way that the Blazers did or did not disclose the Gary Payton injury to the Warriors, who, by the way, had him last year. And he had that core injury with them last year. So the fact that they thought he was all good, kind of strange. Anyway, Payton's been dealing with that core injury all year and even last year. He had surgery in September of 2021. Rumors are that he's been unhappy in Portland. I don't understand why. I can't really get to the bottom of it. He's been injured pretty much most of the year. He's not going to get a ton of minutes. And Portland's not winning games. So maybe that's why. Maybe it's the lack of melanin in the city of Portland. Not sure. Or the lack of sunshine in the city of Portland. But the Warriors medical staff inspected Payton, and they are very mad that Portland, they felt like they duped him. So then, because the Blazers didn't disclose to the Warriors that he had been given Toradol, which is like an NSAID. It's not like people don't understand. Toradol is not a steroid. It is an anti-inflammatory. But there's all this like rigmarole, as my grandma would say, because Aaron Goodwin, Gary Payton's agent, came out and said, no, Gary Payton's not been taking Toradol. No Toradol shots for Gary Payton. Turns out Gary Payton, he's right, did not take any Toradol shots. He took his Toradol through the mouth. So, little like sus in terms of him avoiding the question, making it seem like he never took Toradol when he knew that his client had, but we'll keep it moving, right? Turns out Goodwin's technically correct, but also that's shady, right? That's very shady. The trade was on the brink of blowing up. It would have sent all these disgruntled players back home to their original location. Could you imagine James Wiseman, after getting shipped out, having to go back to the Santa Cruz Warriors? Get out of here. You think Saddiq Bey wants to go back to Detroit? No. You think Gary Payton, after blowing up the franchise, saying how unhappy he was, how they were forcing him to play, hopped up on Toradol, wants to go back to Portland? No shot. So the trade goes down. I have questions. Specifically, why Aaron Goodwin would lie to protect the Blazers. I put my detective hat on. I broke it down. One thing I have to say about Goodwin, he's got to be a team player because Aaron Goodwin also represents Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard, Portland Trailblazer, marquee star, making $60 million a year. So Aaron Goodwin protecting the Blazers and thus Dame, helping Dame clear a runway or at least not put additional roadblocks up for Dame to try to get some additional players on this whack-ass team. That would be why he would do this. Do not say that Portland is making their players who are injured play on Toradol. Do not say that you're hiding information that is critical to the health and wellness of said players. Players will not like that. Players already struggle to go to Portland. Aaron Goodwin did what is in his one client's best interest and maybe not the others. I know a little something about that. All 4 teams involved in this trade have narratives surround them this year. All the NBA misfits got together. They shifted around each other's problems like a game of hot potato. Pistons, they solved their Sadiq Bey issue by shipping him out. They were not going to sign him to his rookie extension. He wanted to get paid. Blazers get Matisse Thybulle, so they get younger, cheaper, longer. They don't have to deal with Gary Payton, who's been struggling with his core injury. They didn't know when he was going to be fully healthy. Hawks get Sadiq Bey for reasons that are unknown. I don't understand it. I'm not sure what they want with him. I'm not sure if there's going to be some future move happening in forthcoming months after in the offseason. But the last thing that the Hawks need is another guy who just shoots three and doesn't play defense. Golden State ships out their number 2 overall pick, and that finally means that we can trustfully say James Wiseman was never going to work in Golden State. Never. The big news, though, for the Dubs is that means, like I said, the Wiseman experiment is over. We're going to deal with that more in a later episode. But for now, Joe Lacob sending Wiseman packing means it is now win-now mode for Golden State. Wiseman was set to cost the Warriors $131 million in salary and luxury tax the next 2 years. So the question is, why does that matter? Well, the reason it matters is because the Warriors have never been shy of paying additional luxury tax dollars when they thought that was going to help them compete. Remember, they signed Kelly Oubre to a deal. Kelly Oubre, who is horrible, was costing the Golden State Warriors like $67 million in luxury tax and salary combined. So now what does that mean for the Dubs? That means the Dubs are not trying to spend unnecessarily for players who are not going to help them. World champs are no longer going to operate like money is water. Dumping Wiseman was a message that the gravy train is about to end. This roster I actually believe this. My prediction is that the Warriors retool, rebuild, completely reshuffle the roster next season. There are players who are marquee guys who are on the Warriors right now who will not be on the Warriors next year. Is that Draymond? Probably. Is that Clay? Probably not. Is that Poole? Maybe. It might be a fire sale to get whatever key pieces that they need in order to get a championship happening now. Is Steve Kerr back next year? Is Bob Myers back next year? All of that, something to monitor. And I have a question for those who are my fellow Dubs fans. If you had the decision to make, and you could only keep either Andrew Wiggins or Jordan Poole, who would it be? Because I don't see both being in the long-term future of the Golden State Warriors. And if it was me, I would choose Andrew Wiggins, despite him being very much on the downturn this year after getting paid. The Warriors have a third of a season left. The earliest they're going to get back GP2 is right before playoffs, and that is if he doesn't have another setback, which, again, core injuries are really tough. Blazers, I think, are the only team in this 4-team trade that came out doing well.